side do y'all think North Korea supports, Palestine or Israel? Just guess. It is Palestine. The DPRK has actually never recognized the state of Israel. They have always upheld the right of Palestinian people to self-determination and resistance. And this is beyond moral and rhetorical support. The DPRK has actively armed and trained Palestinian resistance for decades. That includes the PLO, the PFLP, and the DFLP have trained troops by the DPRK. So while the US is here training the IOF with police, the North Korea is training Palestinian.
What you just saw is a video that emerged from the Gaza encampment at New York University in the summer of 2024, what some of the students there were calling a liberated zone. And I want you to focus not on what's being said, but on how the reasoning is working, because something very specific is happening here. You've got a student in a Western liberal democracy casually positioning North Korea as a morally credible actor. A regime with one of the worst human rights records on the planet being framed as aligned with justice. And at the same time, groups responsible for plane hijackings and suicide bombings and mass violence are being rebranded as the resistance. And none of that tension is being engaged with. There's no friction, no hesitation, no comments from the crowd, no sense that the ideas collide with each other because they don't need to. This is what closed-loop reasoning looks like in action. It's actually unclear where the starting point is. Is North Korea good because it supports Palestine? Or is Palestine good because it's aligned with actors like North Korea? The conclusion justifies the premise, and the premise reinforces the conclusion. Round and round, no external reality check required. A few years ago, I was introduced to the idea of a constellation of beliefs. The idea that once someone adopts one part of a worldview, often a whole set of other ideas come with it. And what you're seeing here is how this constellation is operating, not as a series of independently tested ideas, but as a system that holds itself together, where contradictions don't break the model, they just get absorbed into it. And once someone is inside a system like this, they're no longer really evaluating claims. The constellation is doing all of that work for them. And this isn't limited to one political space. You can see my last video where I looked at the same phenomenon showing up within the manosphere. It's a pattern. In my latest essay, I explore how the rapid acceleration of these constellations, how quickly people seem to be stepping into them, and how completely they're adopting them, is one of the factors that's driving the rise in anti-Semitism we're seeing around the world today, and more broadly, the rise in extremism and fundamentalism across different ideological spaces. If you want to understand what's actually happening beneath the surface, I really encourage you to go and give it a read. I'd be really interested to hear what you make of it. Find it on Substack.